Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We had an awesome trip to Norway and we're going to share our 2-week itinerary with you.
Okay, so 2 weeks in Norway was a lot of time, but I think it was the right amount of time.
It was.
Because one of the goals we had for our trip to Norway was to see the Northern Lights.
Yes.
And to do that, you've got to go to the northern part of the country, and that does take some time. And
It's a project.
It's a ways to get there, and once you're there, you're gonna want to see everything to the fullest. So 2 weeks is about right to do Norway the right way. So flying in, you're either gonna fly into Oslo or Bergen. We flew into Bergen, but most people will probably fly into Oslo.
Mm-hmm.
So day one, you're gonna fly in there, try to get maybe just a city tour, and then you're gonna be off to Bergen the next day.
Yeah.
Because Bergen is kind of the gateway to the fjords, and if you want to do a fjord cruise, you're gonna do that from Bergen. We'll be able to do that. There's a tram. There's actually 2 trams you can ride to the top of the city, and a beautiful city walk you can take in Bergen.
Yeah, Bergen is a cute little town and really one of those little villages where you think cities where it's like quintessential Norway. When you think of Norway with the painted houses and the solid dark colors, really lovely little town. You can walk right through the fish market on the city walk, and the trams take you up 2 different mountains. You get 2 different views of the city. Is beautiful.
Yeah, so 2 nights in Bergen, followed by a quick couple of hour flight up to Tromsø. And this is where it gets interesting. You're going to pick up a car in Tromsø, and this will be the first chance you have of seeing the Northern Lights, because you will now be above the Arctic Circle. You'll stay 1 night in Tromsø, which gives you a chance to see those lights. And while you're in Tromsø, you can take a tram to another mountain overlooking that city for another chance at the lights. There's a cute little chapel there and some other things to kind of see in the area.
Yeah, there's several things to see in Tromsø. It has a real nice like food scene, bar scene. So there's lots to see. If you stay right in the city center there, you'll be able to walk just about everywhere. Park your car because you'll have to pay to park it, so you don't want to have to go in and out. But you should be able to walk just about everywhere. You can actually walk right across the bridge from the city and hop on the tram there to go up for a view. And you can also walk to the chapel from there as well.
So from Tromsø, we're going to drive south, and it's not actually that far away, but you got to drive around mountains and fjords. So it takes about 3 to 4 hours to get to Senja. And we're going to stop on the island and stay in a little village called Senja. And we stayed at a hotel called Mefford Briggy, and it was really amazing. The hotel in and of itself, the little village, was an attraction all to itself.
It was.
It was way beyond our expectations. So if you do that part of the trip, I would definitely think about staying there. But while you are there, we're going to be looking to hike up Heston to see a view of Segla. We're going to go to the Bergsbakken Overlook and also hit up Elsfjord Beach.
So many things right there. The little town Senja that we stayed in was a really tiny little fishing village, and it was just amazing. Get up and see literally the little, the fishermen out there either on the pier or loading up their boats to go out and fish for the day in the ocean. That was amazing, and just the scenery in that little village was absolutely breathtaking. There's also a hike you could do right there in Senja. And then the Heston hike, that was incredible. One of the most beautiful scenes we've looked at. I mean, we've seen some amazing things on this trip, and the view from Heston looking at Segla is absolutely incredible. You can also hike the Segla itself to the top, but you'll be able to see it if you're on it. So the Heston hike is the better hike to do, in my opinion. It's a little less challenging, and you can actually see Segla, and that's really what you want to look at. Heston itself is not necessarily like, photogenic, I would say. But Segla for sure is what you want to take a picture of. And then Bergsbotten was beautiful. They have this great overlook. You're looking at the fjord and it's just like unbelievable. And then Elsfjord Beach was really amazing too, and you can walk out the pier there as well. So lots of great picture opportunities, and just great to just take in nature and just walk around and hike, and really feels great.
Probably my favorite place to fly the drone on this whole
yes.
6-month trip was Heston. Just an amazing place, and there is nobody there with you. We were on Heston for probably 4 to 5 hours, and we probably saw 6 other people.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Crazy.
And it's really one of the most beautiful scenes that you'll ever see. So after your 3, and while you're on the island of Senja, you still do have a chance of seeing the Northern Lights, so keep that in mind. If you're staying at the hotel we mentioned before, perfect place to see them from, because there's water, there's a pier to walk out on, you can see to the north, so just at night, make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. After that, you're going to take your car and drive another 4 or so hours down to the Lofoten Islands, which is the new kind of rising star of Norway, and for good reason. It is beautiful there. Gorgeous
area. There's several places to stop there. We stayed in one kind of central-ish village in that whole area, and we were able then to drive to the different places. We drove to Hamnøy, we drove to Renja, Ramberg Beach, Udaklev, which actually we ended up seeing the Northern Lights there one night. So just lots of different options there. Lots of beautiful things to see, from fishing villages to authentic roorboos on the beach. You can do a lot more hiking in any of these towns, right? It's really there's just so much to see. It's not even funny. So it's really 5 nights is great, because you can go to all these places and just take your time. And like I said, if you want to hike, if you want to fly the drone, take pictures, videos, whatever you want to do, you'll have enough time if you give yourself those 5 nights. Plus, like, the reason for us too was to be able to see the Northern Lights, and so we were able to do that without any problems during those days.
We had one day that we knew the Northern Lights were going to be amazing, because the locals were telling us. Even the Airbnb host called us and said, hey, make sure you go see the Northern Lights tonight. So we were pretty sure, and we had seen some apps that said it was going to be an amazing day for that. We were pretty sure it was going to be great. And so we chose to go to Udaklev Beach that night to see the show, and we're not disappointed in the slightest. So if you have a good day, want to go see them there, highly recommend that location. Easy parking, almost no hiking to get there, and it's a huge beach. And so even though there were probably 100 people there watching the lights, we had a spot all to ourselves without anybody around.
It's a huge space. Absolutely.
Definitely recommend that. The fishing villages are just beautiful to go see. I think you can cover each of those in a day. You can cover several of them in a day. And then if you wanted to throw in some hikes, that's how I would finish off my time in the Lofoten Islands. So depending on what kind of arrangement you have, if you picked up your car in Tromsø, you probably need to drop it back off in Tromsø. So the next day after your time in Lofoten, you're going to be driving back up to Tromsø, which is about a 7-hour drive back up to Tromsø. You'll get in there late at night and give yourself one more chance at the Northern Lights. Hopefully you've seen them by now, but if not, you will definitely have one more good chance in Tromsø. So you're just going to have to drop that car off and then catch your plane the next morning, which is probably flying either to Oslo or to Bergen. And then from there, you will just be flying back home. So is there anything different that you would have done other than this type of itinerary, or was this really a good way to do it in your mind?
No, I think that this was good because we gave ourselves enough opportunities to see the Northern Lights, and we got to see there's so many different things that Norway has to offer, from from a city like Bergen or a big city like your Oslo, and then you get to see unspoiled nature like in Senja, that it just has so much for you that you want to spend as much time as you can there because you want to see it all. It's an incredible country. It's very large, and that's why you're having to fly, from one place to the other and drive several hours to different places, but it is worth every single minute that you put into transportation and into travel to there. But I wouldn't do it differently. It's definitely the right amount of time at each place.
The only caveat I would make is if you're going during the summer and the northern lights aren't active, I would just cut out Tromsø completely and spend a few more days in the Bergen area and do a few more fjord type cruises.
That's true.
If you haven't planned your dates yet, definitely, if you're going September, October, all the way up through March, going all the way up to the Arctic will not be a disappointing experience.
Right.
It could be the best travel week of your life if you do get to see the Northern Lights, because they were pretty spectacular. And we have heard people that have seen them even there, and they've said, it really wasn't good. And the answer to that question is they did see them, but they didn't see them on a good day.
Right.
And so the key to seeing them so that you're just kind of blown away by them is having enough days in that Northern Lights Arctic zone where you're not just going to see a small show, you're going to see an amazing, vibrant Northern Lights show. And so giving yourself this much time in this itinerary, you've got about 10 days or 10 nights up above the Arctic Circle.
Right.
That should give you enough proper time to see not just sort of a show, but something amazing that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So that is what we would do in Norway. That is what we actually did in Norway, and we wouldn't change a thing. So hope you liked this video. Hope it was helpful to you. If you did, give us a like. Hit that subscribe to see the other videos we've got on Norway. We've got more coming up, and we've got a summary on the channel you can look at to see how to plan your trip better. And we will see you on the next video.